Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Love. I'm your host, Tasha Mack, aka Love Potion, and I'm joined today with the most beautiful co-host that I haven't had in a long time, Shania Kerina. Welcome back to our platform because
Thank
she was here
you.
last year, so we had to redo this conversation because Shania has got so much going on and changes that happen within the year as well.
Literally.
Yes.
Mhm.
So let's start with the changes. How is being a mommy of two been going?
Um, Honestly, it's a huge adjustment. I feel like I prepared myself, but not really.
Right.
It's nothing like physically being in the space of being a mom of two. But I think really just making sure I'm putting myself first is what's been like getting me through it.
Right.
So at first, when like he first came home and having my 2-year-old, that first week was just emotional for me, and it was really hard because I was just like, this is a lot. So I found a nanny. I've been really
Good.
making sure like I'm happy first, because if I'm happy, then they're happy and taken care of. So it was a huge adjustment, but we here.
Well, I definitely know where you coming from. I'm being a mom of five, so
Yes. Oh my
been
goodness.
there, done that.
Mhm.
Um, Send you good vibes throughout this journey. Because it's not easy. Motherhood is definitely not easy. There's a lot of hardship, a lot of roadblocks, a lot of everything that comes along the way.
Right.
So this is a good opening for our conversation because I know this year you have been really promoting becoming. So I really wanted to dive deep into that and let our guests know like what your new movement is, what becoming is, how did we come to becoming, what is all involved, like just spill the tea on all of that.
I'm so excited. So becoming. When I hear the word becoming, I'm sure when a lot of people hear the word becoming, you hear transition, right? You hear, like rebirth.
Right.
There's so many things that come behind that word, and God, God gave me that word when I first started Karina's Place 2 years ago. And at first, it was just a slogan, growing, glowing, and becoming. But then it became my lifestyle. I feel like you are constantly changing and becoming a better version of yourself if you're intentional about it. you
Right.
and that's really what the becoming movement is about. So I launched the becoming movement in December because I'm just like, okay, I'm about to have a baby, but I really want to help women, especially women of color, understand that despite your past adversities, despite the mental health, despite the past pain, grief, trauma, all of that stuff, you can still become who you're meant to be, but you need to be equipped in some way. And I feel like, that's what a lot of women lack. That's what, I felt like I lacked. If it wasn't for my therapist, and just different coaches that have aided in my journey, I don't know where I would be.
Right.
So I really just wanted to provide an affordable space because I know everybody can't afford therapy or they don't have insurance to cover it. But I was like, I really want to provide a space where it's safe. It can create some sisterhood. That's another problem in the Black community.
Yes.
That word sisterhood. But
Right.
just creating that space to for women to become. We're gonna heal. We're gonna grow. We're gonna let it go. So that was one, but then I started the Modern Mom Collective because I was like, okay, moms, you can become too. Okay. Don't let the one, the two, the five, seven kids stop you from living the life of abundance that you deserve. Because I'm sure you've heard it before, Tasha. I don't know how many times I've heard like, oh, your life is over. Oh my God, your kids, you're not gonna be able to do this and that. And I'm just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and especially if you're a young mom. I know I started out very, very young. I had my first at 18 and then turn around, had my second at 20, then turn around, had my third at 22. So
Jesus.
I definitely heard that, a lot of stigma behind being African American, having young children, and then the environment I came from, the projects. It was like the scarlet, the letter S was just
Yeah,
branded into you. Like this is what your life gonna be moving forward. So
yeah,
yeah, I definitely can understand that. Like, oh, you have kids, you can't do this no more. This your life is your children. This is all you're gonna be able to do. Blase, blase, blase. So
right. Yeah,
I'm glad you're changing that narrative though.
yeah, because I'm like, yeah, okay. No.
Right.
No.
Like, no, that's not the end of your life per se. And with my brand, I try to preach that you have to embrace you, like outside of being a mom, outside of being an employee, outside of being a sister, a auntie, a wife, a girlfriend, a partner. You're you first. So establish who you are, love who you are as a person before you add on all of these titles. So, and I think I know that I got that from my transition throughout life, because we always like dive into what is society deemed as most important, which are our children. But again, we're more than just being a mom. Like,
Right.
yeah,
There's so much more to us than that.
it is. It is. So with your new movement becoming, I know that you do a support group per se, which you invited me to last week, which I thought was like really, really, really dope. So talk to us about that support group. What do y'all do?
Sure.
How you're helping these young ladies, because I love them, by the way. They was
Yeah.
very like in tune. You could tell they are young, and like they're trying to like grasp who they are. So I really do love that.
Thank you. Yeah, so with the Becoming Movement, we meet once a week every week. So when we meet, we start off with our mental health check-in. So, how are you feeling? How has your week been? How can your sisters support you with your week coming up? You know,
Right.
again, this is about community. This is about, sisterhood.
Right.
And so we start off with our mental health check-ins, no matter the activity, no matter the, speaker. But every week is something different. One month it might be a set topic. I know, like, for example, we had one month revolving soul care, another month, just revolving maybe finances, so forth. So we've had different people come in and talk about so many different things, just, turning your pain into purpose. Or, let's talk about our money, our finances. How are we handling our finances? How, because that's part of becoming too.
Right. No, absolutely.
Yeah, so just really, again, equipping these women with necessary tools to really become their best selves. That's really what it's all about.
I
And
love that.
I feel like I just created the space I needed for myself. Losing both of my parents so young, I feel like I had to figure a lot of things out.
Right.
Grateful for the certain individuals who have, aided in certain areas and stuff, growing up. But I really, again, had to figure some stuff out. Invest in different coaches, invest in different programs, so yeah.
So this support group is free for young ladies, well, women.
No, so the support group is $20 a month.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not
Mhm.
bad.
Not bad at all. Like I said, we meet weekly, and there's so many things that are poured into the group, from even if it's me sending you free planners or, free PDF download, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's $20 a month.
Okay. I love it. And that's not bad at all, because they're getting the tools that they need. And I
Yep.
wish this was around when I was like starting out with all of
Yeah.
this. I think that, well, I do love that where my life is at right now, but I think that it probably would have been a little bit more differently with like how my past had went if I had like women that was like surrounding me and like giving me those tools and them gems that I needed to like really persevere in my life. So I think
Yeah,
what you're doing is awesome. And I
thank
know it's going to even get even bigger and better. So I love it.
thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I felt the same way. Like I said, that sisterhood, the people around you are so important. You
Yeah.
know, when you've experienced a lot of grief, a lot of loss, like a lot of the times you're honestly you just want anyone to be around you.
Mm-hmm.
But that can sometimes cause even more pain because you don't
Right.
know who's around you when you're
Right.
everyone, into your space and stuff like that. So yeah, the group is very intentional. Like I honestly there's a certain amount of people I allow into the space because I want to keep it intimate. I want to keep it, very personable.
Personal.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So
Yeah.
how have I know that motherhood can be a toll and then you got two little ones. How have that been on your mental health?
First of all, at first it was terrible. I was like crying. Seriously,
Yeah.
I was crying like every day. I was exhausted because I was like breastfeeding, and then my 2-year-old, it was an adjustment for him because he's not the baby anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Who's this?" Like,
Right.
I want attention. Well, you giving him milk, I want milk.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, like, there's two people. I literally have to divide my time into three. Like, and I was just, oh my God, it was a lot. And someone that I met here, it's so funny. We talk about in the group, being mindful of who you call your friends, but she my friend now, okay? She seriously, she texted me on Sunday like, "How are you?" And I was just like, "I'm not okay. I'm not okay." It was 10 o'clock. Kamani was still up. The baby was up. I haven't eaten all day. I'm still trying to breastfeed, and I was exhausted. And she has a 1-year-old herself, and she was like, "I'm on my way." And she brought me some food. She
Aw.
put Kamani to sleep. Yes, I'm getting teary eyed because I'm so grateful. She was she was helping holding my boob, trying to help me pump. We like literally. And from there, I was just like, Shania, you have to take care of yourself. No
Yeah.
matter how that looks. And the next day she had gifted me a nanny for like a few hours to help Kamani. And when the nanny was there, I was like, okay, okay. Like
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big difference, right?
I was like, okay, this needs to be a part of my budget because I
It's
can't do
it's needed. It's
yeah,
needed. It's
I,
needed.
yeah. And I was like, I can't do this by myself. But the thing is, I don't have to. And I had to release that strong black woman stigma that I can't
Mhm.
do it. I got this. Yeah, I got this, but I'm gonna get this with some help, okay?
Right.
So that was the day I was like, you know what, I have to have a nanny, even if it's once a week so I can get out the house, or once a week so she can get, my oldest out the house, even if it's to the park.
Right.
And I was like, mm-mm. Yeah, so
Oh, been
that
there, done that. I even with I mean my we it's always been two of us in the household anyway, but even with both of us like working and grinding, I still had to add that nanny piece in my life. It is so much needed for your mental health, or you will just be like, and I know I experienced postpartum with my second child, my daughter, and that was the worst ever. And I was like you. I had my oldest, he was 2 when I had her, or just a little bit over. He was 2 or a little bit over 2, but he
mhm,
was around that age. And then I had her, and that was a big adjustment because I told you then I was 21. I was
right.
20, 21. So I'm like, oh God, this is so postpartum hit me like the vengeance. And back then I didn't know what that was, where it
Serious.
came from, nothing. All I know is that like I was depressed all the time, crying, could not eat. I was like struggling trying to get her to breastfeed. I didn't give up though. I was trying, I was getting ready to, but I was like, you know what? I gotta do this, I gotta do this, gotta do this. So like that was a struggle, always crying, nonstop with that. And I was like, oh my God, come on now. Like this has to stop.
Mm,
Um I don't think that I ever. No, I didn't go see a therapist, but I remember talking to my GYN about what I was experiencing, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Honey, you're going through postpartum," and I was like, "I'm going through what?" So
Yep.
then, like, she broke it down to me. I was like, "Oh my god, this cannot be real," and she told me the same thing. Like, you need to like start putting some time in for yourself. Self care is important. Like, yes, you're a mommy, but you need to do X, Y, Z to make sure you're good for them because your daughter can sense when you're stressed. That's why you're not producing milk. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So then, like, I was like, you know what, daycare, here we come. It was probably like 2 days a week that they would go. I found me an awesome older lady in the community that was doing daycare. So she really, really, really did work with me. And she knew me since I was a baby. So it was a win-win. She was like, listen, baby, like I got you. Like go to work, I got you. And then when she knew that I was tired, she would keep them for extra hours. She was like, I got them. Go home and get some rest first and come back and get them.
It's needed.
Yes. And I was like, oh, for real. And at first, being a new mom, you're a little hesitant, like, I'm going to come get my babies, right? Because
Shoot, now I'm like, bye.
yeah, like I was like after that, like if I got comfortable with her, I was like, you know what, she is helping me. Let me go get this rest, get a little bit refreshed, then go back get my babies. So yeah, that was very much needed. And then my postpartum leaked into my third child, so I never really fully got over that. And then I went into that, and that's when I got therapy because I was like, you know what, I didn't address the first go around, but I need to address it this go around because again, the breastfeeding couldn't do it. I remember getting an infection in my breast, and if you never got that before, that is the most painful thing ever. And I'm
Mhm.
like, oh my god, no, I gotta go get some help. So I had to stop breastfeeding with him because of that. Because like I'm stressed, he's stressed because he can't eat,
Right.
and then I got the infection, and I was like, no, I need to take care of myself. So, and then that's when I was going through all the other abusive stuff on top of that. So it really hit me hard after my third pregnancy.
Yeah, that postpartum depression is serious. And it's so funny because yesterday, and that's why I started the mommy group. See, the mommy group is different from the becoming movement because motherhood is a different ball game. It's different all around.
It is.
And yesterday we were talking about being emotionally aware because you have to be. And I was able to tell my first week being home that I was going through postpartum, like just from my emotions and everything. And I feel like that's why it's important to be emotionally aware. So
Mm-hmm.
you're able to understand your triggers and, pinpoint certain things. And with Kamani, I was going through postpartum for so long. I
Yeah.
didn't I didn't know what I was going through. I was just depressed, like
Right.
depressed. The relationship was depressing. The
Right.
drama was depressed. Like everything, it was just so much. And here I am. I'm a new mom. I lost both my parents, so I'm grieving not having my parents. There's so many emotions at once, you
Right.
know. So that postpartum depression, I stopped breastfeeding. I was like, I can't pour from an empty cup. I'm exhausted trying to breastfeed, pump, tend to a 2-year-old, tend to myself. No, he'll breastfeed sometimes, but I was like, after a month, and I did my month, I was like, as long as you're fed and healthy, that's what matters. So,
Yes. So
yeah.
how is it? Because I know between all of this, you moved into a new state too. So
Kid.
you did. And I was like, sis, you know what? Just go where God lead you.
Yeah.
But I see you like settling in, and I think for the most part, from the outside looking in, this looked like this was the best move that you could have made for you and your children.
It
So,
is.
but baby daddies, how is that?
Well, when I moved to North Carolina, I didn't know I was pregnant.
Right.
Yeah, so but I had a feeling, but I didn't know. So I moved here July 1st. I think like a day or two after I took the pregnancy test. And I was like, shoot. I didn't say shoot, I said something
Yeah.
else. Oh my God. I was like, this, God. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. This ain't it. No. Um, and it was a lot with his father. So I have two, y'all. I have two children's fathers. I don't even say baby daddies, but I
Yeah,
have
I
two.
hate that too. I had to correct my girlfriend the other day. Now, when we talk, she correct herself because
Yeah,
she'd be like, "Baby mama, baby daddy," and then she'd be like, "Sorry, Tasha, my daughter's dad, father." I'll be like,
I
"Thank
am their
you."
children's mother. Okay,
Yes.
my oldest. So with the oldest, the relationship has always been kind of rocky. And there were some things I feel like that just transpired. And I was just like, you know what? I'm choosing myself and my happiness. And
Right.
this is what I'm doing.
Right.
Um, he was just like, so you're really gonna go. And I was just like, I'm going. I'm I'm taking care of him anyway, and I remember I will never forget one time he had said to me, this is what really was like, you know what, I'm moving.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing every other week, and it was great. A lot of moms don't even get that.
Right.
That had started, I think, when my son turned 10 months. So that was around maybe like August. And then come January, he was like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't want to do this no more. It's just really hard to get us both dressed. And I was just
Oh,
like, okay. And it
it's so
wasn't
it,
It
it's
wasn't an
it's
argument. It
crazy.
was it was just a moment of, Shania, you will no longer put the happiness of others before yourself,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how it's viewed. Because everyone was like, how can you move away from the father and the baby's so young? And I was like, this is the perfect time to move. Let's go. You know,
Right.
this is the perfect time. Because one thing that I can share on here for whoever is listening, people will always have opinions of you, but their opinions don't pay your bills. They
Absolutely.
People will always talk about you, whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad. So be happy. Let them talk about you while you're happy. you know.
Exactly. And
So
you doing this for your children too. And like, I mean, we as mothers, we always have to put them first, regardless of what the circumstances is, especially when you're not married. At the end of the day, all of the responsibilities fall on us. Just like you said, he was like, "Oh, I can't do this no more. It's a struggle." And it's so amazing that these men can just be like, wake up one day and have this epiphany, like, "Oh, I can't do this no more. Bye."
yeah,
And they can do it, and it's okay for society to allow them to do that. But as soon as we like, okay, we're sick of the bullshit, let me do what's best for me and my child.
right.
I'm going to go somewhere else, move out of the situation, start my own life. Oh, we're the bad ones. Oh, we're keeping the child away from the dad. Oh, you take them to child support, but you the one that decide. No, 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 no. It's more to the story. Like, but okay, I'm gonna let you keep that narrative of the story. I always say that. I
Yeah,
always say that. Like, you
I'll
can
clear
keep
the air.
whatever narrative of the story that you have, but I know the true story, and I'm not gonna keep on going back and forth with anyone about my story. So keep whatever you have in your head going, whatever you hearing, whatever that person is telling you, that's fine.
Right.
But eventually they will start seeing as the child grow, as they'll start seeing it for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. And I love what you said, let people keep whatever narrative that they have. Like my oldest father, and I'm mindful of the things that I say, like when I'm doing, being
Yeah,
interviewed, whatever. But there have been things said, and I'm just like, look, I ain't clearing the air, because my son is a reflection of me.
right,
I always have my son. You know what I'm saying? So just to
right.
see how respectful my son is, just to see how happy he is, just to see how he maneuvers, it says a lot. And I'm doing my job. That's it.
And you keep doing that because I know in the past I was not like that. I can honestly say I was always like trying to defend my side of the story because it's like,
I
okay,
was
you're not gonna have me out here in these streets looking bad. But as I gotten older, I have learned like people gonna have whatever perception that they have on you, whether they know the truth or not.
Yep.
And I had this conversation with my child's father just the other day. Like, you can keep, I don't care what have been said about me, because at the end of the day, I know the type of person I am. I know the character that I am. I know what type of mother I have been for our child. So whatever
Right.
storyline you've been having, keep it going. Like, I love it. I love when I get all of this stuff back, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I don't clear up no air no more. I don't
Nope.
care. It's
Nope.
like, okay, that's what he said. Oh,
Like I
okay.
said, people's opinions don't pay your bills.
Yeah, it don't. It really don't. So, and I love that you learning this at an early stage of your children's lives, because then they just gonna see their mom being that boss lady and be like, okay, my mom was never affected by anything, nothing. She took
Right.
care of us. So, you know what? But yeah, you got to keep that going for the children, because at the end of the day, it's about them. It's not about them.
And
So,
100%. And again, that's why you have to take care of yourself.
right.
As a woman, period, but as a mom, like, and it's funny because the relationship with my oldest father taught me a lot, and I maneuver different with this one's father. This one's father, I'm just like,
Right.
mm,
Yeah.
uh, uh, mm, like I don't need no stress. I'm dodging. Listen, it's so different,
Right.
But yeah, you have to take care of yourself. And
Yeah, you got to. So what would you tell a new mom in your situation about self-care? Like, what do self-care look like? What do that consist of
sure.
for them
So
to do?
I tell people all the time, my self care is also my soul care. So yes, my self care is get my nails done,
Mm-hmm.
just tend to my outer self, because I feel like when you look good, you feel good, right?
Right.
Maybe taking myself out to eat, something like that. But my soul care, I'm so intentional with my soul care, and what I mean is, if I'm having a moment where I just feel like I'm not okay,
Mm-hmm.
I I say, okay, well, Shania, what do you feel like you need in this moment? Because I think that's important to be able to identify that. What do you need in this moment? Sometimes, honestly, I don't know what I need, but honestly, I will try to figure it out. So if that means I need to go sit in the tub, let the baby cry, and just cry it out myself in the tub, then that's what that looks like. If that means I have to wake up at 5 a.m. so I can have that extra time and journal and pray and sit with God and talk to God, that's what my soul care looks like for that day. If my soul care means, doing therapy twice a week because that's what I'm doing right now, because that's what I needed, then that's what it looks like. So I think the biggest tip that I can give is really identify what are some things that you need for you. And I started to do that when one of my friends asked me, "What do you need?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "Wow, I don't know what I need." I forgot about myself. Too busy taking care of kids and
Right.
trying to be there for everyone else. Be everybody's strong friend. Be everybody's confidant. So when she asked me that question, I really sat down and was like, Shania, what are some things that make you happy and bring you peace? So I guess that's
Yeah, I just said that the other day about us strong people always being the strong friend, the strong family member, and when we are going through it, is no one in sight to for us to like let out all our frustrations to, because either we don't know how to, or the people that we are strong for don't know how to be strong for us.
yes,
So it's always a battle with that when you are always the strong person.
yeah.
So I definitely agree with all of your self-care techniques. I wish I had known that back then. I do know that now. But I don't know. I know today's society with the pandemic and everything and being a mom, that would be scary to me alone. I know in the beginning with I don't know, when you gave birth, you wasn't allowed to have like people there with you or anything. So
Yeah,
like
different here in North. So I'm in North Carolina, and it's different. I still can have people.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was still just the one person can stay overnight, but I could still have my people.
Let's talk about your birth because you had a doula, correct?
I did have a doula.
How was that experience?
Um, it was good. Um, so it really was good. I do want to say make sure you do your research.
Mm,
Make sure you're just really intentional when finding a doula. But she was great, before having the baby. She was very supportive. She was very attentive. There were days I thought I was going into labor, texting her at 2 a.m. you know
mm-hmm.
even down to just the coming to my house, helping me stretch, or showing me different exercises. um Now, she's also your doula also supports you during labor. So when you're
Mm-hmm.
in the hospital or you're at home, wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
And then some doulas also provide, postpartum care. But I do say having a doula is very beneficial. My experience didn't go exactly how I wanted it to go. Um, but I am grateful for her being there prior to my labor. So,
Okay. So she wasn't there during the labor.
so she was, and then
But
she wasn't. And then
okay.
yeah,
Okay. I can read between lines.
yeah. So
So what made you pursue a doula? I know with my last son, I had a midwife,
mhm,
but due to health reasons, it didn't go as planned. So I had to end up not having a midwife once I went into labor. And I
mhm,
was so upset about that because I wanted that experience having a midwife versus the traditional way of giving birth.
yeah.
So what made you pursue doing a doula?
So actually, so for anyone who is in Baltimore, Maryland, or yeah, probably I don't know if it's all over Maryland, but with Kamani, my insurance provided birth companions.
Really? That's
Yes.
something to look into. I never knew that.
Oh my God. So basically, I had two birth companions. They are students who are still in school,
Hmm.
but they are your support. Like
Okay.
they technically were kind of like my doulas, but they were
Okay.
birth companions. And I met with them. They knew my birth plan. So when I went into labor with Kamani, I was in labor for 50 hours, and they would swap in and out. Like one would come, one would leave, one would come, one would leave, and it was just to have them during my labor, like even at the like when I say labor is exhausting,
Whew.
my body was so tired, but my birth companion, like down to like just rubbing my back and just speaking to me and just, hey, do you need water?
Right.
What do you need? And making sure I didn't want to have a C section, making sure like my nurses knew my birth plan, like,
Okay.
um down to holding my legs up. Like I was like, this is freaking awesome. And again, it
That
was
is
through my
awesome.
insurance. Yeah.
Do
So it's
you hear that, ladies? Y'all need to look into y'all insurances if y'all pregnant to get that
so
little birth
messed up.
companion. Yes, I love. I would have never known that. That's amazing
So
that they're recognizing that women need that.
it was so great. So that's why I was like, I want that same type of support, that
Right.
emotional support. And it was, yeah. So granted,
Yeah,
again, my experience didn't go the way I wanted, but I had a really good nurse with him who was that emotional support. Like
that's good.
it was
And
really good.
that's all that matters. We need that emotional support when going through motherhood the entire time. Trust me, it don't stop. I'm telling you now. I got adult children. It don't stop. You still need it. So I forgot what I was about to ask you about the do you see yourself becoming a doula? I see
Oh,
that.
mm, no.
Mhm.
No, I support it. I love them, but no,
No.
no, ma'am. Libra is not. Mm-mm,
Oh my god. So
mm-mm.
what have you been doing since in North Carolina? Like working?
Mhm.
I know you've been meeting new friends because your personality. I know everywhere you go, that everybody just like embrace you. Like how I love North Carolina. It's one of my favorite state. I love Charlotte. My sister is there, so every
Yeah,
time I get to go, I go for like a week. Like I love it, and then I don't want to leave.
yeah. The environment is just different. It's
It's
beautiful.
very no one don't understand it. It's very different in the southern states. I can never explain it, but it's like that southern hospitality is real. Like
It's,
everyday people personality, people generosity, everything is just so different about the people down there, and it's so mind blowing.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah. But so since moving here, so I really didn't do much. In the beginning of my pregnancy, I was really sick. Like this was
Mm,
a different type of pregnancy for me. Like even like I think like my second trimester, like I just had like I had different times in my pregnancy that was just really hard. So
mm,
I really didn't work much. I I was still posting. I was doing lives. I was still, being present, but I
right.
wasn't all the way present.
Yeah, you wasn't mentally present.
Yeah, so a lot has happened and I would love to like share a little bit of it because I think it's important to
No,
discuss
I think it is too.
entrepreneurship. Like, so I started working again. I think like what was that? November. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I need a job because my income from my business is just not enough. I'm about to have another baby. I still have to buy him stuff. I still have my oldest. So I could not find like work here. And the first thing that popped up that was closest to my house, that was close to my oldest son daycare, I took a management position at Dollar Tree. And I started there. I literally lasted a month because I was just like, I can't do this.
I
But
don't think anyone lasts at Dollar Tree. Think about it.
first of all, they was playing with my money. They said one
And
pay,
that's
and it was another pay. But anyway, it was such I needed that though,
right.
because going back, I was just like, this is not it, and that's when I launched the Becoming movement, and literally in like one day, I made my Dollar Tree check, and I was just like, Shania, if you really show up for yourself
Absolutely.
like what are you doing? Like why do you keep underestimating who you are, who God sees you to be?
Right.
So I was like, all right, well, I left Dollar Tree because honestly, it was starting to become a lot on my body with him. I was going through a lot of pain and stuff. So I honestly was probably gonna have to leave anyway.
Right.
But so now I'm home. I'm working on the Become movement, and I'm like, all right, God, I'm walking where you want me to walk. Like, what's next? And I I'm I want to say January because I wasn't even there long before I had the baby. I found this job, y'all. Well, God brought me this job where I just watch people take COVID tests all day, and yeah, literally, and I'm able to still work on my business at the same time. And I
That's a
feel like,
blessing.
oh my God, it was
That's
such
a
a blessing
blessing.
because me being someone who I deal with a lot of anxiety. Sometimes I cannot sit still for a long time and really get work done. I just
Mm-hmm.
so many things on my head. I'm trying to do laundry, do this and this and
Mm-hmm.
that. So I have to sit, be on. They provide me with a laptop. I'm on that laptop. I'm on my personal
So
laptop.
you working remotely?
Yeah, I'm working from home.
Yes.
I work today at 2 o'clock.
That's a blessing. That's
Yep.
definitely a blessing. On to,
Yep.
like I said it earlier, and I was trying to post a live before we went on here to just explain how my morning had been so far. But no, I really had a good morning, but I still work my 9 to 5 because at the end of the day, like mental health, that's my niche. I love my company. I'm growing there. I'm a manager. I'm overseeing programs now there, and people always looking at me like, why are you still working and you have all this other stuff going on? Because you know what, I haven't got that confirmation from God yet that I need to leave, because every time I get that thought in my head, I turn around and it's something else happening at work. Like, oh, we're gonna promote you to this. Oh, we see this, and we need. So it's like that's confirmation that I'm good where I'm at because my job is also flexible. I work remotely as well. I'm grateful to have a great team that I don't have to like micromanage and be over top of them like that. And now I'm learning how to time manage better.
Yes.
That was my biggest thing coming into 2022 is to really learn how to time manage because I look like I got it mastered to the outside world, but up until this year, I did not have that mastered. And it was like I was running crazy. I was stressing my body out, myself out. So I was like coming into 2022, which I think God kind of like pushed me to do it because I came into this year with COVID. Like
Mm,
I came into this new like January 1st, I had COVID. So that forced me to take off from work for a whole 2 weeks because I'm vaccinated. I was sick. I could not work. Like every time I opened up my laptop to try to do something, I was like, oh nope, not today. So that right there forced me to actually sit down for the first 2 weeks of the year because I think he heard me like, okay, I need to learn how to time management. But he was like, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna force you to do it. And he
and
did.
it's amazing how he will show us in different ways.
Yes, and I swear that the first 2 years, 2 weeks of the year, I really did like I kind of like did a plan of my year of what I needed to do as far as my career, as far as my businesses, as far as my children, my partner, like trying to like master all of that and kind of keep everything like balanced. And
Right.
so far so good. Like I don't I'm the type I'm a perfectionist, which is bad. So like with my 9 to 5, like everything has to be perfect. Like I always gotta be the one that put them fires out before it even hit the fan type of thing.
Mhm.
I was not good with delegating to my staff on what was needed. So now I'm learning how to delegate more as a manager because being a good leader, like, yeah, like I'm that manager that's always in the fire with you to make sure it get done. But at the same time, I was overworking myself. So
Yeah.
I had to really learn how to delegate those tasks to my staff, which have been working great. I'm learning how to stop working at a certain time every day. 5 o'clock,
That
stop
part.
working.
Yep.
Do
Yep.
not do anything extra over that, Tasha. So
Yeah.
I'm learning how to do that because then, like, and then I have to put stuff in my planner now for me to do. You know, I'm writing my book. So I have like 2, 3 days out the week where I have block time for writing session. I
Yeah.
have a day out of the week that I focus on my podcast to make sure that I get my guests, do everything that I need to do on that end. Desserts, that's another thing I'm trying to balance. So, but it's been working so far.
Yeah.
But entrepreneurship is not for the weak, especially if you really because this is my second year in my dessert business. So I gotta keep on working to create revenue so that I can do what I need to do on that. And so eventually one day that can be my revenue.
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, but I love it. Like you I mean, you got the flexibility. You can still work on you and work on bringing in revenue. So
Yes, and I'm finally having an event down here. We
yes,
had
I
the
saw
event
that.
the same
I
day.
know. I was like, I saw your date, and I was like, because you know, I drive to North Carolina now.
Don't worry, I'm gonna do another one. But
Okay,
yeah, so I'm really excited for what's to come. But I agree with everything you said. Like God will always speak to you. Like God will He will always speak to you. And like when I left the Dollar Tree job, it was because God gave me the confirmation to leave. It was
exactly.
it wasn't just because, oh, I don't want to do this. It was
Right,
no, it was I listened to God,
right.
like one thing I tell people all the time, God don't play about me. And one thing he always gonna do, he always gonna provide for me. But that
Absolutely.
was the confirmation he gave me again. So I had just wanted to share that for whoever you're a mom and you building, Even if you're not a mom, whoever, man, woman, like your journey is not going to look like everybody else's. Just because you started that business and it's not $1 million business in 6 months, how some people might show on social media, it's okay. You
But
know,
people don't realize that people they had their struggles before that $1 million mark. And I
Mhm.
wish more entrepreneurs would share that. Like me, I'm transparent. I share that. I share my story all day long. I share how my accounts have been negative. I share I
Yeah,
share how I like attempt to open up a space and it didn't go well. And then I gotta pick up the pieces and try again. People don't share that the downfall of business, and then we have people looking in like, oh, this person doing XYZ, they making it look good, I can do it. And then when they start doing it, they have so many like disappointments, and like they quit as soon as they start. And it's like, no, like I was talking to one young lady not too long ago who she said that I convinced her to start her business. Like she kept on listening to me, and like she'd been following me, and she was like, you know what, this is confirmation, I need to like stop being scared and start my own thing. But like she reaches out to me and she'd be like, oh my god, like what can I do with this? Or, oh my god, nobody didn't tell me how much money is needed when you start a business with like creating your LLC and you're doing this and doing that. So I was like, yes honey, your first year all your revenue is going right back into something else. So you're not, I mean, it's it's the unfortunate thing, but it's all part of you growing
yeah,
into something bigger eventually. But I'm glad that you're putting that out there. I know I'm putting that out there because I think
me
women
too.
in particular, especially moms who is, like you said, trying to grow something and still maintain that life of motherhood and trying to work even, they need that confirmation, like, don't give up. It's gonna be hard times, but it's worth it at the end. It's really worth it. And I say it all day long. Like, pursue your dreams. Life is too short.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yes. So tell everyone how they can follow you, about your event coming up May 7th, or any other things that you have going on.
Yes, so you guys can follow me. So my business is my last name, Kerina. It's Kerina's Place. So KERINASPLACE.com or Kerina's Place on Instagram, Facebook. Um, I do have an event May 7th in Raleigh, North Carolina from 2 to 6. Okay. It
Yes.
is called Becoming. Okay. What are some things that you have gone through in your journey of becoming who you're meant to be? So it's going to be popping. Okay. I'm
And
so
listen, y'all, listen. If you are in North Carolina or in the proximity of that city, please, I'm telling you, Shania events be so powerful.
mm,
Many people can't make me cry, but this one did. Each and every time that I'm there. She provides the tools that you need for whatever topic that she's speaking on. I look up at to her. She says she looks up to me, but I look up to her, even though she's young. That's my little sis. I
yes,
do. I'm just so impressed. Her events are amazing. So you
yes,
in that area, please support sis. You will not be disappointed at all. I had to put that disclaimer out because I people need to know, like, your events be
yes.
powerful.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Listen, these are God's events. So yes, they
Mhm.
are, they're powerful. They are amazing. And thank
Yes,
you for that, Tasha. I appreciate that.
you're welcome.
I'm excited. This is the first event here, so I'm excited to like make my mark here to, change lives here. It's so amazing because I didn't know why I came here at first. And I remember I kept asking God like, why North Carolina, God? Like
Hmm.
it's a little country. And I remember I was talking to a woman and she said to me, she was like, you're needed here. She said North Carolina is one of the leading states in mental health and we don't have the service.
I did not know that.
When she said that to me, girl, it was like I felt God say that to me.
That's speaking to you. Like, that was confirmation.
Yes, oh my God. So I was just like, you know what? Okay, like I got work to do. But yes, I also have look, I use my own planners. So yeah, the Becoming Planner. Okay.
Yes, I gotta get my planner. I keep on seeing it. I was like, I need to get my
Yes,
planner.
because they sell out. Okay, these are on my websites. The Becoming Planner. Let me just talk about them a little bit. So I wanted to create a planner. Again, I always feel like I create stuff for myself. So this is a way to help you still be mindful. You know, we're still journaling, we're still checking in on self as
Hmm.
we're building, as we're doing whatever. So like there's like monthly goal trackers, expense trackers, like budgeting every month. One of my favorite things in here, you know, if you are an entrepreneur or influencer, oh, excuse me, a page for creatives. You know, are you monitoring? You know, what are you posting? What's your content ideas? You know, keeping track of that.
Good.
Girl, it's affirmations in here.
No, because I was just telling my partner the other day, like I think that I should have been like one of them little business coaches or something, because like I be seeing stuff and I be like, and I reach out to people if they like personal to me, and I be like, sis, I know your vision, but
Yeah,
what it's not, your social media is not lining up to your vision, sis. You got to change it around just a little bit. So
really.
I love that piece in there.
And I had to do it because, like you said, you could be all over the place. Let me show you my
Yes.
like, cause I was like, especially as a mom, I gotta get organized. Like this is one of my pages. I think this was for January.
Mm-hmm.
It's all my IG real ideas. And honestly, y'all, I got through almost all of them because
I
I had
love
them written down.
that.
I knew what I wanted to focus on. Again, when you're trying to do so many things at one time, how are you, staying together?
Right.
So, yes, y'all, get y'all the Becoming Planner. Like I said,
Yes, I need that. Yes. Love it.
yes, thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much. I was so happy. Like you, I was thinking about reaching out to you before you tagged me in the post from our show last year. And I was like, that's confirmation right there. Let's do this. But
Hey,
oh yes, I love when you embrace our platform with all of your amazingness. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm looking forward to seeing your growth and becoming.
thank
Um, Hopefully we can add a title of author to you eventually.
Ooh, don't okay, all right.
Yes, and you just keep on taking care of these beautiful babies. I see how. What I do love is that you got that baby with you 24/7. You don't even care. You like, listen, my baby is in tow.
When
So
people ask me, hey, can you, girl, sure, but just know, got
exactly
it, baby.
right. I love it. But you showing the world that okay, I'm a mom, and this is part of the package deal if
Yep,
you want me involved in anything.
yep,
So I love it. I
yep,
love it. You showing the world that low, I don't have nannies and babysitters on standby or that support system. It's me, but I'm gonna still do my thing. You
yep.
showing people how to be strong, and I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I
Yes. So I'm hoping to get down to one of your events soon.
thank
So keep me posted
you.
on anything else that you got going on outside of May 7th.
I will. I will.
And thank you, y'all, for joining me today. You can follow me on at Love Potion 2.0, my podcast page, Let's Talk Love Podcast, my support group, Women at a Stand, on Facebook and IG. If you are a woman, the page on Facebook is just for women only. Sorry, guys. But the page on IG is open up to everyone. So please follow. Oh, and my business, whoop, Street
Ooh,
Tweet. If you love anything Puttins, go follow me on Street
yeah,
Tweets, SREETTWEETS, because I gotta learn how to promote myself more. That's what I'm learning in my podcast support group that I just joined. So thank you all for joining me today, and stay tuned next time for a new episode of Let's Talk Love.
yes. Bye, guys.
Bye.